Hello everyone, welcome to the Ahdurin region. I am your host, Ahdurin himself. Now you might be confused because this is a Blue Rescue Team thing that's going on right now, and I've already done my recreation of the Blue Rescue Team video. Well, this is another hint, I suppose, at what the next video is be. I think you can guess by now. But before doing that, I wanted to do something a little bit interesting, and that is figure out what starter I am now. Because I've definitely changed. I know that for a fact. In Blue Rescue Team quizzes that I've done relatively recently, they've been completely different than the Bulbasaur that I started off as. But I think it'll be interesting to figure out what starter I would be today. And not only am I doing the Blue Rescue Team quiz, I will be doing all three legitimate quizzes that are there. Gates to Infinity, of course, doesn't really have a quiz. It's kind of more of a choice there. So I'm going to do all three of them. You can see Blue Rescue Team is right here. We'll do Explorers of Sky afterwards. And then after that, we'll do Super Mystery Dungeon. Of the quizzes, I think Sky might be my favorite quiz to do. There's not really much of a difference between Blue Rescue Team and Sky, but that might be my favorite quiz. It's also my favorite game of all time. I absolutely adore Explorers of Sky, so that might be biasing it there. But let's jump into this. This is a way to get to know me a little bit better, as me from a 10-year-old perspective, I suppose. But let's get into this. Feel free to let me know what starters you are today by taking the quizzes. If you don't have the games, that's cool. They actually have online clients and ways that you can take the quiz online by any of those quiz sites. Not quite like a BuzzFeed, but something equivalent that you can find each of the quizzes. Take them yourselves. Try to stick to the rules of the game here. So it's usually 6 to 8 questions. There's sometimes the same ones depending on how it starts off. They're somewhat randomized. So try to stick to that and let me know what starter you are for each of the games. And for Gates, I guess just choose your favorite. Whatever one works there. This is the portal that leads to the world of Pokemon. Before I can let you through, I have several questions for you. I want to answer them sincerely, and let's get going. This is the Blue Rescue Team version. So let's start off here, and we'll do a little bit of explanations here as well. Are there many things that you would like to do? That is an understatement. There are a lot of things that I would like to do, many of which are existing right now. Here's inserting the plug to all the different channels that I do. There's Not a Scratch, the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon TTRPG actual play podcast that I run. There's Ahdurin TCG, which is my TCG channel. There's Ahdurin Region, my gameplay channel. There's this, the challenge channel. Oh boy, there's a whole lot of other things. Yes, there you go. Somebody calls you weird but funny. How does that make you feel? That is the vibe I go for, I think. So, sure, happy. We'll go with that. I feel like that's the vibe that I go for when making these videos. Do you like to imagine things for your amusement? See the reference to the TTRPG podcast I do. That is literally just imagining things for my and friends' amusement. And I was the type of person that would both imagine grandiose things and also imagine play stories and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, absolutely. Imagination, very important to keeping the inner child alive, to make prevent things from being monotonous. You're going bungee jumping for the first time. That's unlikely. Since it's scary, you decide to test the jump with a doll, and the bungee cord snaps. Will you still be trying to make a jump anyway? Absolutely not. No shot. It's unlikely I would do that in the first place. I am more of a risk taker now than I was even 5 years ago. But with that said, no, if the first cord snaps, well, no. I'm not sure how I got there in the first place. You win a lottery. What do you do with the money? Spend it now, save it, give it away. I'm a saver. I'm absolutely a saver. So that's probably it. I would, in my logic, and maybe this is me deluding myself a little bit, I'd save it now and then be able to give more away later, which, well, we would see if that actually happens. But I at some point I would like to give it away, but save it immediately. Your country's leader is in front of you. How do you speak to him or her? Speak calmly, speak nervously, whatever. Calmly? Country's leader is in front of me, regardless of thoughts on the country leader. I feel like politeness is at least good. Maybe they change their mind. Maybe this is me being optimistic. Do you fall asleep without noticing? No, I'm not that type of person. I get tired a lot, but I don't think that's the case. There is a bucket. If you put water in it, how high will you fill it? If I put water in it, I'm going halfway, probably. Sure. Are you a boy or girl? I consider myself a boy. You appear to be. Let's find out, because this may be different. The hardy type. I think this is the same, but we'll keep it going. You do your homework diligently, and you know how to eat properly. The first part is true. The second part is not true. You have strong willpower that lets you complete tasks, however tough. I'd like to think so. I don't know if I complete tasks. I certainly start them. But you can also be stubborn to the point of even feuding with friends. I don't know if I feud with friends. I'm certainly stubborn. I'll give you that. Nothing will go right for you when you're irritated, so learn to laugh it off. That is probably accurate. A hardy person like you should be, if I remember correct, is it Machop? No, it's Charmander. Oh, that's very different. A Machop, I think, is what I was recently taking the quiz. All right. So I'm a Charmander today. The quizzes, of course, because they don't want you to sit here for an hour. The limited amount of pools make things swing a certain way. So if I ran this quiz again, I may not be Charmander, but I'll stick with this. Charmander. Interesting. I have hit 2 of the 3 starters at some point in my life. I don't think I've ever been Squirtle based on the Blue Rescue Team quiz. So that's pretty cool. The final step, who would you like to have here as your partner? We're not going to go here. So instead, we'll cut to the Explorers of Sky quiz. Now for Explorers of Sky, I'm not going to show the intro because you will see this in the video that comes next. So we'll just hop through this, pop over here, and take this quiz. So let's start this off. I'm actually curious if it's the same thing here. The portal leads to a world inhabited only by Pokemon. Beyond this gateway, many new adventures and fresh experiences await your arrival. Before you depart for adventure, you must answer some questions. Be truthful when you answer them. Now are you ready? Then let the questions begin. This is different because I think the last one they mentioned interviews. I don't know, I've never thought about that, but it makes sense that they're different. So, let's answer this truthfully. Did you play Explorers of Time or Explorers of Darkness? To this day, the answer is no. I have never played Explorers of Time or Explorers of Darkness. The first one of this generation that I played was Sky, and I kind of stuck with it. Time and Darkness are slightly different. There's technically less stuff in there. The entire plot point is effectively the same. There are ever so slight changes in the main story that are, frankly, not big changes. But I don't know if it makes it easier or harder necessarily. But there's slight changes, and there's of course there's like post game the Sky Tower stuff, Shaman. There's a few other things that are different between the two. Did I play this? I did not. You notice that a toy you bought for full price yesterday is marked down to half price today. How do you feel? Arg is definitely my thing. Heartbroken is probably not right. Bad timing, I guess. I think I would be frustrated about that. You're hiking up a mountain when you reach diverging paths. Which kind do you take? I take the wide path. Yeah. The narrow path scares me a little bit. You're on the stroll when a TV crew pounces on you for an interview. What do you do? Run away, answer questions properly, yuck it up, yoo-hoo, I'm on TV. Proper. Prim and proper is my motto. For better or for worse, generally. Your friend offers to treat you for dinner. What do you do? I will, allow me. I'm gonna try and, unless it's like a holiday sort of thing or a birthday. Yeah, no, let me pay for it. How dare. Have you ever told a joke that just completely fell flat? I think this entire channel. Sure, there you go, yeah. I will say. Your friend has made a meal that tastes terrible. They ask, how is it? You say, if it's my friend, how would I do this? I think I would let them know it's not good. This is not normally, if you asked me this 5 years ago, I think it would have been this one. It's good. But I think now, if I've got a friend, and they're a close friend, and they make something and it's bad, I might just let them know. I'd be nice about it, but I don't think so. When you see a switch, do you feel an overwhelming urge to flip it? Absolutely not, no. Weirdly enough, when it comes to things like this, I will try to walk in and out of a room without being seen, without touching anything, try to make everything feel, I don't know, it's just a me thing, so no. Have you ever looked at your reflection in the mirror and thought, what a cool person? No. No. Maybe if I'm playing a character that's cool, but I don't think so. Are you male or female? I consider myself male. Let's do this, the aura thing as well. So, relax, calm yourself, and now press your fingertip gently on the bow. All right, plop that there, and just keep it going. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. All right, we can figure out what the aura is. I've never seen this be dramatically different from the color you have on your DS. Yeah, it's some shade of green. So I think I've listed myself as a dark green color person. That's my favorite color. It's like that foresty green. Thank you for answering all those questions. You seem to be. I don't know what this will be because I have not taken the Sky quiz legitimately in a long time, I don't think. The Brave type. I know this is not what I was when I was a kid. I'll tell you that. You don't know the meaning of fear. You're not afraid to keep moving forward in the face of danger. This is very unlike me, but I'm happy to see this. You have a strong sense of justice and can't turn a blind eye to someone in trouble. I like this like that. But you sometimes push your own personal sense of justice a little too hard. Be careful that you don't get too pushy. So a brave type like you, I don't think this is what I would have been at any point in time, but let's find out, is a Pikachu. Interesting. All right. And finally, who will be your partner? We will do this some other time, but now, since Gates to Infinity, I'll just let you guys know, for Gates to Infinity, since you kind of just choose your partner, of the five options, because it is the Unova starters, Pikachu, and Axio. Of the 5, I think, I've also done a Gates to Infinity playthrough relatively recently, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe I was a Snivy, and I think I would stick with a Snivy. If not, I think Snivy's there. Snivy would be the one I choose. It's my favorite of the set there. It's my favorite starter in that generation, so I think I would go with Snivy. Now, while I do have a super playthrough that you can check out by, checking it out, you can go to the Ahdurin Region channel where I have the entire Super Mystery Dungeon playthrough there. Let's take it again. Now, I don't remember how long it's been since I took that quiz, but maybe things have changed. So, let's cut to the Super Mystery Dungeon era. Oh man, is it wild to be back here. I've even got the old layout, and you can actually see I slightly lied earlier in the episode. While I have not been Squirtle in the Blue Rescue Team quiz, I have been Squirtle in general. This, in fact, was the combination that I used to do the Super Mystery Dungeon playthrough that was on the Ahdurin Region channel. You can check out the entire playthrough on that channel, of course. I want to see, actually, let me look this up. When did that series begin? Let me take a look very quickly. It was here, and the first episode of this was posted, at least, you can assume it was around this time frame, September of last year. So it's been a little bit, a year and a couple of months, a year and a quarter, if you want to say it like that, since I last took the Super Mystery Dungeon quiz. So, let's jump into this one. Finally indeed, you've returned. I finally found you. I came here just to find you, What is that? Please come and lend us your strength. I've already done this, but, sure. Keep touching the lower screen, all right? The power is gathering. Here it comes. Kamehameha. We're going to the Pokemon world. This path of light is the link between our two worlds. Complete the following prompts with an honest and open heart. Awaken the true Pokemon form that slumbers within you. Alright, so here we go. Here is the quiz. A new student transfers into your class. What do? Offer to show them around the school or wait to see what kind of person they are? I am, these days, much more likely to offer to show them around. Because I'm more proactive than I used to be. Two of your friends are fighting and you wish they'd stop. What do you do first? Jump in the fray to make them stop or ponder what the real issue is between them? I'm gonna ponder that. I'm not jumping into that. They might have legitimate reasons or not, but I gotta figure that out. They start selling a new kind of pastry at your favorite bakery. You try the new variety without hesitation. You stick with your regular favorite. Again, when I was younger, it'd be the regular favorite thing. Now, it's probably more likely I'll at least try it. That was very different from what I used to be, but yep. You've been hiking up a mountain for 2 hours but still haven't reached the peak. You pump yourself up for one last push, or you give up on it and head home. If I've been doing this for 2 hours, I'm still going to it. So, keep it rolling. Alright, dinner time at last. You're starving and you can hardly think about anything except the chance to eat. You wait until everyone is ready to start, you start eating as soon as you have your food. I think the official policy about this is if it's hot food, you start eating, and if it's cold, you wait when you're in a group. With that said, though, I'm notoriously somebody that waits until everybody starts eating. So, That's my thing. You've been given a piece of blank drawing paper. You're asked to draw a picture of the ocean. What color do you make it? Brilliant green with tropical corals, bright blue with crystal clear water, glimmering orange to reflect the sunlight, or rich cobalt blue to show great depth. I am gonna probably go with the bright blue option here. I take things literally, so I tend to look at it from that perspective. All right, vacation time at last. What kind of music fits your mood? Punk rock that makes your spirit explode? Gotta get moving with some EDM? I'm feeling laid back, time for some folk, or I want to dance and sing to some pop music. Of this, it depends on the vibe I'm trying to get. If I'm going on vacation, it's probably going to be much more laid back sort of feeling. I'm not really dancing and singing, I'm just listening to it. If I try to get motivated, it's going to be that punk rock sort of thing, but for vacation, let's relax. All right, and what would be the best word to describe your partner? Cool or cute? It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I'm gonna say, cool. Sure. Why not? Who's got time to worry? You're a genius at having fun, really. Your cheerfulness makes everyone smile. Every day is a happy day when you're around. I like to make it that way, that's the hope. With your ability to produce warm, fuzzy feelings all around you, you must be... And... I think it's probably gonna be different. Maybe. And we get a Squirtle. Nothing has changed in a year and change, at least that's something. Stays exactly the same here. Just like Squirtle. This the right Pokemon for you? If I say no, you have the opportunity to, what do you look like? And you can change around, you can see everybody here. I won't go through all of this, but that is the case here. As unsurprisingly, I'm just saying unsurprising. That's kind of shocking that Super Mystery Dungeon had the quiz that was consistent from what I took a year and a half ago, a year and a quarter ago. So I hope you had fun just listening around, chatting around here. My recommendation, please try this for yourself. Either get your own games out. If you don't want to start a new file, that's perfectly fine. You can find an empty file if you've got one, or my recommendation, if you don't want to reset over your game, go ahead and find a online quiz. Take them. You saw the number of questions here. I don't remember the exact number, but it's somewhere less than 10. So just randomize those, pick some questions out, and see what starters you get. Leave them in the comment section down below, and maybe we'll make this a yearly thing. That could be exciting, as we have found the set of starters that I am based on the Mystery Dungeon games. So I look forward to seeing you all in the next video, which, as you can guess, is probably Mystery Dungeon related. I about told you earlier on, but I'm looking forward to that video getting finalized and everything like that, and we are back at getting going. So thank you everyone for listening, watching, and supporting in any way, shape, or form that you do. Thank you for supporting the channel for the entire year, if I don't mention that in the next video, because this is much more low-key than that next video is going to be. So I gotta do the outro properly. So thank you everyone for listening, watching, and supporting in any way, shape, or form that you do. Until next time, take care.